Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. Yeah, I know Chuck Wendig, that's a few days old, and in Internet Times, that's a year. But I was given this article and haven't talked about it yet. It's from the Mary Sue, and I figured, okay, let's take a look. Let's see what they have to say, because, you know, Mary Sue was an impartial, website, and I'm pretty sure that Kate Gardner is going to look upon this with her journalistic integrity, and she's going to remain impartial as she reports on the whole subject. Now, she starts off as saying, let me preface this piece by saying that I'm not an unbiased source. Well, that's out the window then, isn't it? When it comes to my feelings on Chuck Wendig and his politics with his Aftermath series and with the character of Singer, I have no idea who that is, I felt seen for the first time by a franchise that categorically denied my existence as a queer person. She's not only unbiased, but she's stupid. She's just freaking stupid. Oh, I'm denied my your existence still is there. Nobody's denying that you do not exist. God, I hate these freaking victim mentality. And you know, it's like, oh, by not having me, y'all shut up. I'm already pissed off at this person. Nobody's denying your existence. The freaking galaxy is filled with aliens. There's all sorts of differences in it. Shut it. Wendig's books are fantastic. His presence on Twitter is charming. Anyway, and I'll never look at the heirloom apples without laughing. Furthermore, I view him as an ally in an ongoing fight, not only for representation in media, but in terms of actual real-life politics. Dumbass, you're represented, okay? And have been forever and a day, all right? Everywhere. When the f did we become the 1800s again in these people's eyes? So imagine my shock and horror when I refreshed Twitter today to see him announce that he had been fired by Marvel off their Star Wars titles because of him being vocal and political on Twitter. Actually, vulgar and political on Twitter is more likely. In a lengthy and informative Twitter thread, Wendig detailed his ongoing relationship with Lucasfilm and Marvel, starting with the Aftermath trilogy. I'm not going to show the tweets here. I have an entire video where I went over every one of them and tore them apart. Now, it wasn't nice. It wasn't charming. This person is in such denial, and I believe, like I said, it's an ally. He believes, like we do, that it's the 1800s and people are killing other people who are not white male Christians. It's ridiculous. This whole thing is freaking ridiculous. The funny thing is, and yeah, I know I usually have my face up there when I'm editorializing, but anywho, right here she has a tweet. She included a tweet. Today I got a call, I'm fired because of the negativity and vulgarity. He says it right there. Not because he was political. That my tweets bring serious... Well, yeah, he does include that a little bit, doesn't he? That's what Mark said. The editor said it was too much politics, too much vulgarity, too much negativity on my part, basically because I was not civil. She goes on to say, worse is that while he says he does not know if Lucasfilm had a hand in the decision, he also tweeted that he had previously had support from Lucasfilms with regard to his social media presence and the way he dealt with harassment. You know, you would think that Roseanne Barr and James Gunn would have served as a warning. Now, the big thing is Marvel probably got word from on high. Look, we're not dealing with this stuff anymore. We still have it from the writers and artists. You got to be careful, gang. Because maybe they figured yelling and screaming at the people you want to give you money isn't a good thing. It does hand Comicsgate a big win. It hands people who want to see their media homogenized and reduced down to the same white cis-het male stories a massive win. Worse, it sends a message that if you want to work for a big title, keep your mouth shut and don't talk politics, even though at this point in the game, silence is nearly complicity. Wow, there's so much wrong with this. Plus, this one tweet just nails her as a racist and a bigot. Sorry, but Everything was for everybody, and that's why you have people of color. That's why you have gay people. That's why you have women inspired by these stories before you guys decided it was the 1800s. That's why they truly love the medium. And now you guys are jumping in. There've never been any... Oh, shut the fuck up. Seriously. All art is political, and apparently people being angry that politics in certain works or progressive matters more than artists actually standing up for what's right. Not all art is politics, and your politics aren't progressive. They're regressive. Once again, you have halted forward momentum. And you brought us back to, not even last century, you brought us back to the century before that. You guys believe that that's where we are. It's not forward progression. We were progressing. And you put up a fucking wall. You and people like you put up a wall on that. This is frightening. I won't call it censorship, but it's pretty close. It's a big message saying keep your mouth shut and take the abuse, because apparently defending yourself and the others around you is as bad as being a troll. It's vulgar. It's not civil. Marvel has known about Wendig's politics since 2015 at the very earliest, but suddenly there's a problem with him being his usual self and using his platform for good. There's a whole stunning host of implications there, Look, sweetie, here's the thing. You can argue politics and still be civil. Well, I'm sorry, no. I can argue politics and still be civil. You, unfortunately, and Chuck believe you have to be vulgar. You have to be violent in your language, and language is not violence, by the way. But you are being vulgar, and that's something you don't have to be, and that's what Chuck was, and that's why he lost his job. To conclude, this is really quite chilling, and it breaks my heart. I am very sad and worried for the country I live in and the world, and for creative people all around. Courage to you all. I have a dire fear this is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. P.S. Vote in November like your life depends on it, because it just might. And now, I don't like to assume, but I really do believe he's saying we should have the right to be violent towards those, or at least in language, to be vulgar to those who disagree. And since we know they've announced that they want to punch people because they think everybody who disagrees are Nazis, yeah, that worries me. And I would say, yeah, definitely get out there and vote in November. Everybody should, like your life depends on it, because it just might. No, nobody's going to be killing you. You remember in 2015, all the way up to the election, how gay people were supposed to be dragged into the street and shot? You remember that? How many? Anybody seen it? No, because it hasn't happened, because it's not going to happen. Just shut the fuck up about that stuff already. Wendig encourages us to support the stories coming out of Marvel and Star Wars despite all this, with more grace than I believe they currently deserve because of these chilling implications. Thankfully, most of the reaction I've seen in reaction to this have been equally as furious. Marvel's fine with safeguarding an EIC who posed as a Japanese man but abandons a creator who's been bombarded with harassment because he cares about equality. Stop fucking this up, Marvel. He was vulgar about it. He was yelling and screaming. And also, you know what? Nobody cares. They care that the characters are written poorly, but nobody cares. You know what? And also, they're aliens. Aliens can be anything you want. That's the whole point of them. It's like mutants in the X-Men. It stands for teenagers, gays, racism, just anybody who feels isolated or different. You don't have to throw it in everybody's face. It is 100% okay to trust your audience to understand. Marvel, this isn't a good look. This is bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. So maybe step back and reconsider this, because you're sending a massively dangerous message not only to creators but to the trolls who haunt them. You are demanding silence and civility in place of people expressing political views that piss off the trolls and the incels. And for the record, if this happened to be a white male author, imagine what it must be like for creatives who don't have the same privileges, who deal with even worse harassment. What a mess of a world we live in. And this is everything. Every bit of problem rolled up right into a nutshell right at the end. I'm sorry, why not, if somebody complains about a character being poorly written, or just complains about a character, maybe just saying, hey, that's not necessary, and just take them for the word. Now, granted, there are some crazy people. There's some bad people out there, so I'm sure that some people read it and went, those f***its don't need to be there, and that is not the majority of people. The majority of people I've heard since this Chuck Wendig stuff started just thought it was a poorly written book, and those were poorly written characters that were incredibly out of place in the Star Wars universe. And that is bad writing. And here's the thing. We've experienced this in comics. We've experienced this if we've complained about, hey, this is a bad story. Well, you hate gay people. Wait, no. You're a Nazi. No, it's just a bad story. You wrote this very poorly. Please change. That's the way it's been. That's the reaction. Now, the funny thing is Chelsea Kane decided to chime in with this right here. And all she's got is Norma Ray sitting there with the Union picture. And all I could think of is, you are freaking independent contractors. Go on ahead. Unionize, because trust me, there are many people right behind you who are willing to do it cheaper. And they've been hiring off of 4chan and Tumblr and all that kind of crap for a long, long time. Go on ahead. Go on ahead and do that. Or, as you keep telling us, make your own shit. Make your own comic book. If you don't like it, make your own comic book. See, that's what I'm all about. That's why, everybody's talking. I've heard it before. Why don't you support this? I do. God bless them. EVS wants to make money. Go on ahead. DNC, go on ahead. I'm here because of Marvel. I'm here because of DC, and I love those characters. And I think that those characters at their core should remain those characters. That's not to say their lives can't change in some way, but at their core, they have to remain the same. And that's the fight I'm in. And if they don't want to write those core characters, go make your own. Same thing you told all of us at Comicsgate, and some of us went off and did it. Go make your own. Hell, some people seem to have had, hey, I've got a comic book. I'm Comicsgate now. Give. So, go make your own. It's the way it is. It's the way it is now. You don't have to fuck up our books anymore. All right, but that's just my opinion. What is yours? What do you think of the whole kit and caboodle and Mary Sue writing? God damn, they're dumb as fuck. All right, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, here's my plug for asking for money. Just go on over to Patreon, help out the channel. Drop $1 in the till. You help me make videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.